The Arlington Cemetery visit by Trump with the Gold Star families on the anniversary of the 13 service members dying in Afghanistan because of Biden and Harris's ridiculous, disastrous withdrawal. It is exploding into an actual gate. It is now like Arlington Gate.
Like, why are we still,
so stupid.
Why are we still talking about this? We shouldn't even still be talking about this.
I can't believe it either, but the amount of chitter chatter, and we're going to go through it because this is so freaking stupid, but leave it to MSNBC when they report on the story to make it sound like Trump is some sort of monster.
The Trump campaign attended this event on Monday. It was to the anniversary of the death of some American service members in Afghanistan as part of the evacuation effort there 3 years ago. They're trying to make that a major problem for the Biden-Harris administration in the context of this campaign. But I know a lot of military veterans were very uncomfortable with the idea that Trump was there at all, and that, he even at one point posed for a photograph with family members with a big smile and thumbs up on their face. Now, we should note some of the family members were doing the same, but that's their right. Donald Trump, it's seemingly very strange that he would do the same.
Oh my God.
And some of these veterans were sort of just aghast that even in any way, shape, or form, Arlington National Cemetery, arguably the most sacred place in our country, was being used as a backdrop for a political purpose.
Oh Jonathan, I looked at the same pictures that you're alluding to now and describing at Arlington, taken with the former president, and the thought rolled immediately through my mind: is nothing sacred?
Oh my God!
That is sacred ground. And the idea that any candidate of any party would use, intentionally or unintentionally, use that sacred ground as a prop for a political campaign is beyond condemnation.
You know what's beyond condemnation? Is that Joe Biden was on a freaking beach.
Yep.
What's beyond condemnation is that this happened to begin with on Biden's watch and Kamala's watch, who's running for president now. That's beyond condemnation. Neither one of those jackholes was even there.
Well, they were very busy. Very, very busy.
What is wrong with these people? What is wrong with these people?
It's absolutely incredible, considering that Donald Trump was invited there at the behest of the Gold Star family.
Oh my God.
So there was this photo that they released. They not only wanted him there, they wanted the entire thing documented because they considered that those were going to be memories that they wanted to capture and cherish forever. They said that they were deeply grateful to the president for taking the time to honor their kids and to stand alongside them in their grief. That is what they wanted. And that's the end of the story, in my view. Like,
yeah, it is.
They're the only people that matter.
Yeah. And then MSNBC has the audacity to be like, they didn't want him there. How dare he give a thumbs up with the families? These people are mental.
They're totally mental. So then there was this talk about how there was an altercation with someone that worked at the cemetery and one of Trump's team people. And so there's a lot of rigmarole about this too that we're going to get into. But first, General Kellogg was on with Bret Baier. He was there, and here is what he said. I'm just so mad about all of this. I can't believe it.
Yeah, we all should be.
Former President Trump at Arlington National Cemetery. That was the 3-year anniversary of the death of the service members at Abbey Gate. Right. Some critics of the former president said it was a political move.
Oh my God.
NPR had this story. 2 members of Donald Trump's campaign staff had a verbal and physical altercation with an official at the cemetery where the former president participated in the wreath-laying ceremony, saying that the official tried to prevent Trump staffers from filming or photographing in a section called Section 60. You were there with the former president, right there. What happened? What did you see?
Well, I didn't see anything because I never saw the dust up, and I was very close to the president. And I was close to the families as well. I mean, it was like from me to you, for most of them. And the families wanted things to be photographed, and they invited the president there. Members of Congress invited the president there as well. And I think Kamala Harris missed a huge opportunity. Look, I go back to the dignified transfers that I used to go to with the president and vice president, and you go and you meet the families, and this is honoring the families. And I think they're taking the eye off the ball of what they're talking about on a dust-up, which nobody really saw, because the families wanted these photographs. I mean, when the president when he went to Area 60, where the Afghan and Iraq war veterans are buried, those that were deceased, the families after he laid the flowers, the families wanted pictures around the headstones and the grave sites. And I saw him do a FaceTime call with a young soldier that had been killed as well. And the families like that. They want it for their memory books. And this is one that's distracting from what should be the fact that President Trump went to Arlington National Cemetery. He honored them. And when Americans fall in battle, we should honor them. And the fact that Kamala Harris and Biden weren't there or didn't say very much about it and just put a press release out, I think is a huge mistake.
You understand the sensitivity of the critics who say, or the people at the cemetery who say, they just don't want politics being a part of that. Obviously, he's honoring the families, but that issue is a political issue.
Well, of course it's a political issue, but you see it. But this is one of those, it should cross all political lines. The fact is that he went. They died under Harris's and Biden's watch. And she's the one who said she was the last one in the room when the decision was made on Afghanistan and the withdrawal. It wasn't President Trump. And so because of those 13 great Americans died at Abbey Gate that day, 3 years ago from Monday, I think she should have at least had the decency and the honor to say, I honor those Americans who fell. And she
But you didn't see anything.
I saw nothing.
Okay.
Well, she has no decency or honor. And I mean, the bottom line is, I think it's obvious to anybody with a set of eyes. We can see what's happening here. They want to forget all of this. They want to forget those 13 awesome service members. They want to forget them. They want to pretend they never existed because that's on them. And Trump doesn't want to do that. And the family members don't want to do that. The family members want pictures. They want video. They want people to say their names. That's what they want. And Trump is willing to do that. Of course he wants to do that. And if he were president, it wouldn't have happened.
Well, and we'll probably hear it in some of the other videos that we have, but like some of the news stations are saying this is illegal. Like it breaks the rules of the cemetery. But they cite the rule as being you can't do political things and be photographed doing these. Trump literally just attended. He didn't give a campaign speech. He wasn't talking about the election. He was there to honor the fallen.
Right.
And so anybody who's trying to say they broke a rule about like engaging in politics, I'm sorry, but he's a physical human. So when he shows up, that doesn't just automatically make the event political.
Right. He's also an American citizen. Like if you and I showed up to do that, would it still be illegal? I mean, these people are reprehensible. They're just vile. They're gonna pick at whatever they can pick at, and whatever he does, they're gonna say they're gonna probably try to throw him in jail for it. Right. Seriously, there's probably going to be another,
because they probably
honestly they're probably going to throw another indictment at him for this. I mean, it's ridiculous at this point. Democrats are just gross.
They're
at
vile.
This point. They're completely vile. It's like just stop it. Stop it. Let the families have their day. Just to honor their kids.
Yeah.
My God.
Because the people responsible for their deaths won't.
Yes.
So for crying out loud, why are you trying to rip on the person that they wanted to have there?
I know. And can you imagine the families have that now they are in a position where they have to defend this.
Right.
It is only 3 years away from when they lost their family members. Can you just shut up, mainstream media, and let them just honor their kids? My God, I hate these people. I hate them. I just
The answer to that question is no, they cannot. And Jim Acosta had on a guest to talk about this as well.
Yeah, I saw the breaking news this morning about this, the story that came out. It's important that a report was filed. I think it should be investigated. We should find out. During my tenure as Secretary of the Army, I was kind of the so-called custodian of Arlington Cemetery, since the Army has responsibility for it. And there is no more hallowed ground in this nation than Arlington Cemetery, where we've been burying our heroes, our veterans, since the Civil War. Right. So, look, I think bottom line, the principle is that no person or party, either side, should ever use Arlington National Cemetery or any of our cemeteries or battlefields for partisan political purposes and or break the so-called rules. We need to maintain its prominence, its importance, its sacredness to the American people and certainly to the veterans. So I'm anxious to see what comes out of this.
Oh my God. How about you suck it, Mark? Yeah. It's like, let's get the DOJ on this to investigate it. Come on, let's go. Oh my God.
I'm sure there's an indictment in here somewhere.
I know. Let's get him. We really got him this time, you guys. We got him. My
Oh
God.
my gosh. Katie
Can't.
Pavlich tweeted that U.S. Army vet Lucas O'Hara, who was at Arlington on Monday honoring those killed at Abbey Gate, saw what happened. He said, I witnessed over 75 wreath laying ceremonies performed by politicians and conducted 524 funerals in this cemetery during the time I served in the Presidential Honor Guard for 3 years. What I got to witness yesterday was the most respectful and solemn ceremony I have seen. There were no speeches, no angles, no weird photo ops, just our elected officials and the 45th president respectfully and solemnly honoring the fallen and their families.
So take all the seats, Mark and Jim.
God,
these people, I just can't. I can't with them. I mean, they're crazy. These people are crazy and rabid, and they just need to stop. They need to stop.